In The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 6, Kin, Joel, Pedro Pascal, and Ellie, Bella Ramsey, finally find peace and sanctuary in the American West, but with that quietude comes time for Joel to consider if he's growing too close to his ward. The 6th episode of The Last of Us takes place 3 months after the tragic events in Kansas City, which includes 2 of the most impactful deaths in the series. The show looks different now, as Joel and Ellie emerge from the fire and chaos of the eastern US into the snowy tranquility of the West. Kin is where The Last of Us makes a switch. This is the first episode where Joel and Ellie have a chance to gather themselves, after a journey that's taken them from tragic horror to tragic horror, barely escaping with their lives. Now, as they reach their goal, it's not external conflicts that get in their way, but internal challenges. The Ellie and Joel dynamic in the first half of The Last of Us was based on a job. Starting with Season 1, Episode 6, the pair begin to realize, and fear, the familial love that's developed between them. Ellie and Joel meet some strangers on the frontier. Florence and Marlon welcome Joel and Ellie to their home. Graham Greene as Marlon in The Last of Us dressed in winter clothes sitting in a chair in his cozy cabin. The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 6, picks up 3 months after the events in Kansas City, and Joel and Ellie have gotten so used to not seeing infected or people, they've begun to let their guard down. They're not totally naive though, so when they stumble across a cabin in the middle of nowhere, guns are drawn. Inside, they find an elderly woman, Florence Elaine Miles, who is soon joined by her husband, Marlon, Graham Greene, and these characters, who are new to the Last of Us universe, prove honest enough that eventually weapons are lowered. Joel and Ellie have soup with their new friends and the couple tell the travelers that there have been no sightings of infected or marauders anywhere near their lands. However, they mention the River of Death. They don't know why, but the edge of the river on the opposite side is lined with bodies. Naturally, that's just the direction Joel and Ellie are going. Florence and Marlon show a different side of life in The Last of Us. Since the start of the show, everything Ellie has seen has been touched by the infected. Florence and Marlon reveal that there are still pockets of the world that have more or less remained unchanged. It's a scene like this one that shows the next few episodes of The Last of Us will not be the same brand of excitement and terror that has come previously. Joel is reunited with his brother Tommy in Jackson, Wyoming. Tommy and Maria are married and having a baby. After Joel and Ellie cross the River of Death, they're confronted by the people who are supposedly responsible for all the bodies on the shore. The pair is surrounded by an armed band all on horseback, led by a masked woman. Joel tells them his name, which somehow gains him and Ellie access to the armed group's compound, the fortified city of Jackson, Wyoming. There, the masked woman reveals herself as Maria Rutina Wesley, and the reason she knows who Joel is because she's married to Tommy, Gabriel Luna, Joel's presumed dead brother. Tommy and Joel's reunion is heartwarming as the brothers tearfully embrace, both believing the other to have died. Tommy shows Joel and Ellie around Jackson and brings him to a bar, a rare luxury in a post-infected America. There Tommy and Joel reveal a bit more about their backstory. They discuss the terrible actions of their past, murder among the worst of them. While Joel says they did what they needed to survive, Tommy doesn't so easily forgive himself and says there were other ways to survive. The success of the peaceful Jackson serving as evidence. Tommy's revelation that he and Maria are having a baby is enough to send Joel into a panic attack, his second of the episode. Perhaps a subconscious effect on him is growing to view Ellie as a daughter, and what that could mean for him. Later, Joel admits his fears to his brother. He tells Tommy he's not as sharp as he once was, and he fears again, which he thinks puts him in danger, which puts Ellie in danger.